Kia ora koutou, Mick Coultard, Community Coaching Club Lead for Sport Waitakere. Welcome to part 2 of a 4-part series of attracting and retaining volunteers. This is a continuation of our forum, making sure that we're sharing messages and information to our wider community. First session was around the narrative that we use to attract our volunteers. Today we're going to have a look at understanding our volunteers a little bit better. If you're watching this, there's a good chance you're a volunteer at a club or an organisation. So my first question is, why do you volunteer? That'll give you yours, but what's the person next to you? Well, if there's anyone next to you, I don't have anyone next to me, but it might be. Have you asked other volunteers at the club why they volunteer? Now that'll start to paint a little bit of a bigger picture, but they're already volunteering. Have you asked the parent on the sideline why would they volunteer? And is there an opportunity to cater your volunteer role to better suit their needs or their why? It's about aligning the why. We align our vision, our club's vision, the role of the volunteer and the volunteer themselves. That's the first part. What motivates? It's a massive that's a massive conversation, and I don't want to unpack that too far, but we want people to be, there's a continuum of external motivations to internal motivations, and we want people to be more internally motivated, and that will get them out of bed on a Saturday morning to come and set the field up and do the things they need to make sure sport's happening. So Daniel Pink, another TED Talk, I know I talk about TED Talks, but Daniel Pink has a good TED Talk, and he talks about the carrot and stick method and internally motivating people, and there's 3 things: autonomy, mastery and purpose. So with the self-determination theory, there's those 3 things. They use slightly different words. So autonomy is around ownership, so how can they own the role that they're doing? Mastery is around how can they get better, or how they improved, or what are they good at so that they can use those skills that they have. What are their strengths? And lastly is purpose. So the other words that are used there is connectedness and belonging. So, and we'll certainly get onto that in our next part 3, about what's the environment that we create for our volunteers. So that's a little bit about motivations. How can we tailor our volunteer roles to best suit the motivations of our potential volunteers, or even our current volunteers, to retain them for longer?